Have you ever woken up in the morning and thought, why does everything feel just a little harder than it used to? Maybe your joints are a bit stiffer, your digestion a little slower, or you're just not feeling that same spark of energy you had years ago. You're not alone. And here's the thing, getting older doesn't mean giving up your vitality. In fact, sometimes the smallest changes in your daily routine can unlock some of the biggest benefits for your health. Now, I want you to imagine something simple, so simple you might even overlook it. A spice. Tiny, dark brown, kind of woody looking. You've probably seen it in your spice rack, or maybe floating in a holiday drink. That's right, I'm talking about cloves. But did you know that eating just 2 cloves a day can have a powerful effect on your health? This isn't some new trend or expensive supplement. It's a natural remedy that's been used for generations, quietly but effectively. And today, I want to talk with you about what happens when you start making this tiny habit part of your everyday life. You might be surprised at what these little powerhouses can do. Let's start with one of the most common complaints I hear from folks over 60, inflammation. That stiff feeling in the knees, the aching hands, the back that feels like it's been through a wrestling match just from bending over to pick something up. Chronic inflammation is one of the silent drivers behind so many age-related problems, from arthritis to heart disease. But cloves, they're packed with something called eugenol, a natural anti-inflammatory compound. Now, I know that word might sound scientific, but here's the simple truth. Eugenol works in your body like a gentle broom, sweeping away those inflammatory markers that cause swelling, pain, and fatigue. And here's what's even better. Unlike harsh medications, cloves do this naturally and gently, without those long lists of side effects you see on pill bottles. Just chew 2 cloves in the morning or add them to your tea, and you're giving your body something real, something nourishing, something ancient that fights inflammation right at its source. But that's not all. Let's talk about digestion because, let's face it, after a certain age, your stomach doesn't always play nice. Whether it's bloating, gas, indigestion, or that sluggish, heavy feeling after eating, it can wear you down. Cloves have been used for centuries to help with exactly that. They stimulate the digestive enzymes in your gut, helping food break down more smoothly and reducing that uncomfortable fullness. I've spoken with so many folks who say, I used to love certain foods, but now I avoid them because I just can't digest them like I used to. But adding just 2 cloves a day, either before your meal or with a warm glass of water, can make a noticeable difference. Think of it as giving your stomach a little nudge, a bit of encouragement to get back to work the way it used to. And it's not just about feeling less bloated. It's about absorbing the nutrients from your food better, which means more energy, better sleep, and stronger immunity. Speaking of immunity, let's go there next. If you're over 60, your immune system doesn't work quite the same way it did when you were 30. You might catch colds more often or feel like it takes forever to bounce back from even a minor illness. That's where cloves shine again. These tiny wonders are full of antioxidants, those protective little molecules that fight off damage from things like pollution, stress, and even the natural aging process itself. Antioxidants are like a team of bodyguards for your cells, protecting them from harm and helping your immune system stay sharp and ready. So while others might be reaching for supplements with names they can't pronounce, you can be reaching for something as humble and natural as 2 cloves a day. You don't need to swallow a dozen pills, you just need a little consistency and the right habits. Now, you might be wondrous, your heart. Now that's something we don't always think about until it starts making noise, right? Maybe it skips a beat, races for no reason, or feels heavy in your chest. And yet, your heart is working 24/7, non-stop, just to keep you here, living and breathing. That's why we need to give it the care it deserves, especially as we get older. And yes, cloves can help with that too. You see, those same compounds in cloves that fight inflammation and boost digestion also support heart health. Eugenol, the one we talked about earlier, has been shown to help regulate blood pressure and improve circulation. And if you've ever felt your hands or feet get cold easily or experienced dizziness when standing, that's often a sign that your circulation isn't what it used to be. Cloves encourage your blood vessels to relax and open up, which means your heart doesn't have to work as hard to pump blood where it needs to go. And let's not forget cholesterol. Many of us have been told at some point that our cholesterol levels are too high. Maybe you've been put on medication, maybe you've tried cutting back on fried foods or red meat, but cloves have been found to naturally help reduce LDL cholesterol, the bad kind, while supporting HDL, the good kind. Think about that. A simple spice helping to protect your arteries, keeping your heart healthier, and possibly lowering your risk of stroke or heart disease without adding any new pills to your daily routine. It's amazing, isn't it? Just 2 little cloves, and yet they support the very core of your health, and we're not even done yet. Now let's talk about something a bit more sensitive, but incredibly important: oral health. I know it's not the most glamorous topic, but dental issues become more common as we age, and they can cause a lot of discomfort. Maybe you've experienced gum tenderness, tooth sensitivity, or even bad breath that doesn't seem to go away, no matter how much you brush. This is where cloves offer something really special. Cloves have natural antibacterial properties. That means they can actually help kill off the harmful bacteria in your mouth that cause tooth decay, gum infections, and, you guessed it, bad breath. In fact, clove oil has been used for centuries as a natural pain reliever for toothaches. Some people even call it nature's dentist, and it's not just about preventing cavities or soothing a sore tooth. Good oral health is deeply connected to your overall health. Studies have shown that gum disease is linked to heart disease and even cognitive decline. So when you chew 2 cloves in the morning, you're not just freshening your breath, you're protecting your brain and your heart too. Isn't that incredible? Now, let's shift gears and talk about blood sugar. If you've been managing diabetes or prediabetes, or even just watching your sugar levels more closely as you age, this next part will interest you. Cloves have been shown to help regulate blood sugar by improving the way insulin works in your body. That means your cells can use glucose more effectively, which helps keep your energy stable and reduces those sugar crashes that leave you feeling drained. Imagine going through your day without those sudden dips in energy or the foggy brain that hits after a carb-heavy meal. Cloves support balanced blood sugar levels naturally, and that means better focus, fewer cravings, and a steadier mood. All that from a spice that costs pennies and takes less than 10 seconds to prepare. And speaking of mood, let's not ignore the emotional side of things. As we age, many of us experience moments of loneliness, sadness, or even anxiety. Life changes. Kids grow up and move away. Friends relocate or pass on. Our roles shift. And while cloves aren't a replacement for connection and community, they do have compounds that may support your mental well-being in a very real way. You see, cloves contain natural mood-boosting compounds that help regulate neurotransmitters in the brain, chemicals like dopamine. Now let's talk about one of the most remarkable things cloves can do, something that works quietly behind the scenes, but affects every single part of your health, your body's natural ability to fight off disease. You've probably heard the word immunity tossed around a lot, especially in recent years. But here's something many people don't realize. Your immune system isn't just about avoiding the occasional cold or flu. It's your internal defense system, constantly scanning your body for trouble, bacteria, viruses, even abnormal cells that can lead to serious illnesses. And as we age, that defense system naturally weakens. It's part of the process. The body becomes slower to respond, and sometimes it doesn't recognize threats as easily. That's why seniors are often more vulnerable to infections or longer recovery times. But here's the good news. Cloves have been shown to actually boost immune activity by enhancing the function of white blood cells. Those are the cells that act like soldiers, rushing to protect you when danger appears. When you eat 2 cloves a day, you're not just hoping for better immunity, you're actively supporting your body's ability to fight. And not just against germs, but against inflammation, infection, and even cellular damage that contributes to aging. And you know what else this means? More energy. Because when your immune system is working well, your body isn't bogged down. You don't feel as tired. You don't catch every little bug that goes around, and you recover faster from things that used to knock you out for days. I want you to think about what that could look like in your everyday life. Maybe you're able to get back to gardening without your back aching for hours afterward. Maybe you wake up without that groggy feeling that used to cling to you like a fog. Maybe you start walking a little farther, standing a little taller, or laughing a little more. That's the kind of change we're talking about here. Not overnight miracles, just consistent, steady progress that helps you feel like yourself again. And we're not done yet. Let's talk about something that gets even less attention, but is absolutely worth mentioning. Bone health. Yes, cloves can help with that too. They're a surprising source of manganese, a mineral that plays a key role in building strong bones and maintaining bone density. And let's be honest, after 60, we all start thinking more about fractures, balance, and how quickly a small fall could turn into a big issue. Supporting your bones isn't just about calcium or milk. It's about the combination of nutrients. Your body needs to keep those bones strong and resilient. Cloves bring that to the table, not just manganese, but also vitamin K and anti-inflammatory benefits that help reduce joint pain and stiffness, especially in conditions like arthritis or osteoporosis. Think of cloves as your quiet little bodyguards. Not flashy, not loud, but dependable. They're working behind the scenes, protecting your bones, defending your immune system, helping your heart beat stronger, your stomach feel better, your breath stay fresh, and your mind stay clear. And speaking of clarity, let's wrap this up with something that matters more than almost anything else: your brain. It's one of the biggest fears many people have as they age, losing mental sharpness. Forgetting names, misplacing things, repeating stories. It's frustrating and sometimes scary, but the brain, just like the body, responds incredibly well to the right support. And yes, cloves are part of that support system. Remember those antioxidants we talked about earlier? Well, your brain loves antioxidants. They help reduce oxidative stress, which is one of the major causes of cognitive decline. Oxidative stress is like rust for your brain. It slows down your thinking, affects your memory, and makes everything feel a bit more foggy. But cloves help keep that rust from forming. In fact, some studies have suggested that cloves may even protect brain cells. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you did something small that ended up changing the way you felt in a big way? Maybe it was walking just 5 extra minutes each day, or drinking more water. Maybe it was standing up a little taller when you walked into a room, or simply going to bed 30 minutes earlier. Sometimes it's the littlest things that bring the biggest results. That's exactly what cloves represent. Now that you know what these tiny, powerful little buds can do, I want to give you a simple routine, something easy, something you can do right away. Here's what I do. Each morning, before I eat anything, I take 2 whole cloves. I let them soak in warm water for a couple of minutes just to soften them a little, and then I chew them slowly. The flavor is strong at first, yes, but you'll get used to it. That little kick is a reminder that it's working. Some people prefer to steep them into a tea. That works beautifully too. Just drop 2 cloves into a cup of hot water, let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes, and sip it slowly. This one small act, whether you chew them or drink them, sets the tone for your whole day. You're not just waking up your body, you're telling yourself, today, I choose to feel good. I choose to care for myself, because that's what it really comes down to. Choosing yourself. It's not about being perfect. It's not about reversing the years. It's about waking up and saying, I matter, my health matters, my peace matters. And I'm not done growing just because I'm older. And maybe you're thinking, will this really make a difference? Let me remind you, your body is always listening. Your cells are always responding, and your mind is constantly shifting based on the actions you take. What you do today echoes in how you feel tomorrow. You might start to notice fewer stomach problems. You might feel more energized in the afternoon. Maybe your joints aren't as stiff when you get out of bed. Maybe your thinking is a little clearer. These aren't miracles. They're the natural outcome of supporting your body the way it was designed to be supported. And as you make this a habit, you start to reclaim parts of yourself that you thought were gone. That's the beauty of small, consistent changes. Let me also say this, don't keep this to yourself. If you have a friend, a sister, a neighbor, or even an adult child who's been feeling tired, foggy, or frustrated with their health, share this video with them. Not as a lecture, but as a little act of kindness. Hey, I saw something that really helped me. You might like it too. You never know who might be waiting for something this simple and this powerful. And if you've already started, if you've been trying the clove habit for a few days now, I want you to keep going. Make it a part of your rhythm. Keep a small jar in the kitchen right next to your teacups or your morning vitamins. Let it be a daily reminder that you're investing in yourself. And finally, I want to thank you, not just for watching, but for showing up, for choosing to be curious, to learn something new, and to keep growing. That's what this channel is all about. Helping you live better, feel stronger, and stay independent, confident, and joyful, no matter your age. If you haven't already, hit that like button. It helps more people find these messages. Subscribe if you want more natural, simple ways to boost your health and well-being. And if you have your own tips or stories about using cloves or any other small daily habits that have helped you, please share them in the comments. You might inspire someone more than you know. So tomorrow morning, I hope you'll reach for those 2 cloves. Let them be your daily promise to yourself. You're not too late. You're not too old. And you're definitely not finished. You're just getting started. Here's to your strength. Here's to your health. And here's to living a life that feels good, one small step at a time.